in job market, and that is directly the effect of revolutions in our industries. Now we have to know that we are currently in the fourth industrial revolution. We had many revolutions, basically 1.0, 2.0, and 3. But before revolutions, what happened? What was happening? We have the agrarians and the handicapped. These people were the people providing food for the whole community. They were the rich guys.
Sorry,
They
sir.
were the
Can you
influential
speak
ones.
louder? People are.
Okay, can you hear me clearly now? Hello, can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, great. I said the agrarians before the industrial revolution, we had majorly the agrarians and the handicaps. Most of these jobs were done manually. And for us to cater for our population, we need food. And for us to have food, we have to get a lot of people to come to the farming and to plant. Imagine I have about 20 hectares of land in multiple locations, and I want to plant without technology. You understand the high level of manpower that we needed to have. And also, we have to have clothes to wear, right? And people have to produce these clothes. And as such, the way our population increases, we have to increase the amount of workforce to do these things. So imagine the regular tailor that is beside your house or is in your area. The tailor trying to provide clothes for everyone in Lagos. That is impossible. The tailor needs to get more people. Now, this tailor that you have beside your house is using a machine, I guess. But imagine the tailor is using hand. So you know what the industrial revolution one was. So at some point around the mid 80s, 70s to 80s, people had to start thinking of how to improve, and technologies had to start coming up. Right? Majorly, the land where the technology sprang was majorly from the England, from Britain. So now, the first industrial revolution, we had the steam engine. They discovered the steam engine. And what's a steam engine? Steam engine is basically you using using heat to translate to a mechanical energy. So which means you have to heat a particular liquid, the steam rotates some mechanical parts to invent a new model of trains at that time in England. Also, we had the textile industry. Right? Since we now have this steam engine that can do this work, that can move in the mechanical motion, which means for me just eating something, I can move a part of an object without me actually using my hand to move it. Then it changed all this into industry. What do you see? You see that the people using their hands to sew clothes most likely used the last year. Their level of importance will reduce. And now the mass production of textile will decrease the price. This is good at the first industrial revolution, but it had some setbacks. The setbacks were majorly that this mine that we're using was polluting the cloud, and not too long we could find almost everywhere in London, which made the city very hectic. But now, since there was opening for advancement, and these machines could use the tax on the environment, right? So people needed more people in the industry to fire up the gas, to do many other jobs, to make some part moving. So basically, we are using clean minds in the whole industry. Fantastic. Now, as I said, that was the major revolution started in England. But not too long, most of the Europe countries, including America, started copying the model. And luckily, America went a step further. That was the invention of electricity by Thomas Edison. And after that, We're also able to do mass productions, right? Having humans also in the loop of mass productions. So now there are different types of automation. You have the semi-automation. You have one that is lower than the semi-automation. So that is what was being implied here, whereby humans are there, but then they are producing a lot of these cars in mass production. The third industrial revolution, we had programming with controllers. We had automations, majorly semi-automations, whereby the things humans do in the industry then we now further reduce. Okay, computer can do this. It was also the advent of calculator. And there were news then that calculator is going to take our jobs. Those that does computations for people that does huge computations, the calculator was already here to eliminate them, right? But then what happened? There was a transformation of the job of the working force of the job market. And what was the transformation? We needed more people in creation of computers. So rather than you doing the normal repetitive jobs of the industry, you've moved to understanding different computer parts, different programming information. One would think that in the third industrial revolution, okay, now because in the, we have computers, now we can now do computations at a bigger level. We had, we can now play videos on a very screen that I think everyone should have. If not everyone, but then majority of us should have as Muslims. Because we have to be able to think outside the box. We have to be able to see the ideas and be able to come up with it and tap into sorry and tap into the skill of others to be able to achieve a common goal. With this being said, there are other skills that are that are in demand, right? One of the skills will be being an AI or machine learning specialist or engineer, right? You can be a digital sales, you can be a digital sales marketer, right? You can be a data analytics, right? Or you can be a lawyer, but then ensure that your lawyer learns programming. You see, any course that you are doing currently, job,
Assalamualaikum
any
wabarakatuh, sir. 5 minutes more.
okay. So anytime you are any for any field or any course that you're doing, I would advise you to try your possible
Assalamualaikum,
best to
sir.
read about the technological advancements
So,
in
sir,
your
it's
field.
almost time for you
The
to be
truth be
online.
told, AI will not come to take your jobs. What
Yes.
AI will do is to enhance other people that have the skill that you didn't upskill yourself with to come over to take your job. Although that is quite difficult, that will be really huge and intense when some of these technologies become implemented. But it will be very good for you to learn these advancements in your fields and try your possible best to upskill yourself to be able to face those challenges that will be coming in the future. So, in short, everyone, try your best to learn tech, not necessarily programming, but everything that comes with it. Maybe being an HR in the tech industry, being able to provide sales, marketing, and every other skills, coding included. So that would be the that would be close to the end of what I want to say. But the last thing I would like to say is this: if you did not pick anything, just pick one thing that
Others are joining live. You have to
you should know to yourself that you are unique. Nobody anywhere in the world is more unique than you. You are the best version of yourself because you are you. And once you commit your effort to do difficult things, you would obviously and eventually achieve the success that you want to have. Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let's say big jazakumullah khairan to our speaker We really appreciate your time.
Jazakumullah.
We have learned a lot, and we pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to increase you in knowledge. I can see in comment section there are already many questions for our lecturer, but I'm sorry, but I don't think the second lecture speaker has joined us. So let's take some of the question before the second speaker join us. So the first question is, to learn cloud computing, what does one need to do? Assalamualaikum.
Okay, I was muted, sorry. So cloud computing, as I said before, right, is a very new emerging field whereby new materials have been shared. But the main important thing I want us to focus on would be for you to search for courses on AWS cloud, right? Because that is the platform, that is like the first prominent platform across the world. A lot of people are using it, and even for you to get access to jobs, you have to like be using either AWS or Google Cloud. So for you to learn, there are many resources online on YouTube and many other platforms. If you are the type that you are very versatile, you are robust at your learning, you can try to like go search for courses on YouTube, try to follow them through and do those courses. But if you are the type that you follow strict rules before you learn, then that's also good. You can also just go for platforms like Coursera or Udemy, and you have to like pay a little token for some courses, and you'll be able to get it. So one thing is that just know when you are learning these things, it's for yourself. You should be ready to invest in yourself. If you have money, if it's money, try to get the money. Oh, sorry. I say if it will cost money, try to get the money to get those courses. Yeah.
Jazakumullah khairan, sir. So you have been added to our group chat because the person that asked the question actually said he could not hear what you are saying. So you can answer the question on our group chat. You can send a VN, and question will be rolling out for you on the chat. So you can check your WhatsApp for question.
Okay. Okay.
So Jazakumullah khairan once again. Let us all say Jazakumullah khairan to our first speaker. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikum salam.
Allahu khairan.
Jazakumullah khairan. So now we are supposed to move to the next
Some
speaker.
people are raising up their hand.
So those that are raising up their hand, do you have any question? But Abdulwasi Yusuf, do you have any question?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
we're listening.
He said the only way we can have a sense of learning to the system now, like how it is going regarding the AI and everything. So he made mention of soft skill. So what actually came to my mind when he made mention of soft skill was uh you are saying soft skill. We know most of these soft skills now are being taken care by AI. Is it not still the same thing when we go to learn soft skill like okay, let me say Excel, micro points and everything. So I don't really know how we can explain more about that soft skill to be compatible with the system now.
Okay.
Do you get my
Soft
point?
skills. Soft skills are not really limited to Excel sheet or all. What you have in soft skills are the skills that necessarily doesn't need. They are the skills that enhance your performance, but then doesn't necessarily need you doing using hand on, doing things hand on. So things like leadership skills, right? Courage, respect for people, like the oratory skills, confidence, bravery, and all these other qualities that you have. They are the skills that enhances you when you are doing your hard tasks. So, like a team lead now, if you have a good leadership skill, you'll be able to work in a team and direct your people to the right direction to achieve the result that you have in mind. So these are the skills I'm talking about, not Microsoft Excel description.
Jazakumullah, Jazakumullah khairan. Sir, we really appreciate your presence. We pray Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala continue to increase you in knowledge and makes all your endeavor an easy one. Amen.
Um,
So now the thing is, our second speaker is yet to be on board. So before anybody entered and before everybody entered, I'm by name Sumayyah Adelopo. I'm a data analyst, I'm a graphic designer, I'm also a student. I promise that for everybody that joined early, they'll get an opportunity to see a slide containing how you can create a beautiful and very attractive LinkedIn profile for job recruiters. So far so good. Since we started this program, 2 or 3 people has added me up on LinkedIn. I can see that their LinkedIn profile is yet to be built. They just have their name on it, no picture, no biography, no certificate, no experience and nothing. So as I promise to take everybody through it. So let's really run through that our first lecturer before our second lecturer join us. I've I've reached out to him and he promised to be with us very soon. So So for those that still want to share the link, you can share the link. The YouTube link is also on the group. You can share it. If you are feeling that you don't want to join Google Meet, you want to join on YouTube, you can also join us live on YouTube. I'm currently live on YouTube. For those that are just joining, I'm Sumayyah Adelopo. I'm a data analyst. I'm also a graphic designer. I'm your host, and I'm going to host you through this journey. Thank you for joining. So um, so far so good. I'm not perfect and I'm not super experienced. I don't have years of experience, but alhamdulillah, the little experience I've gained, I can say I so far so good. With the little experience I've gained, I can say that tech industry is a very wonderful industry, an interesting one. And since we have been introducing ourselves on the group, I can see we have many tech brothers and tech sisters amongst us, and we have many practicing tech brothers and tech sisters. So these tech things, despite the fact it has the advantage, it also has its disadvantages. The second lecturer is not talking about tech. Second lecturer is going to be talking about how tech has caused atrocities among youths, and the lecturers that will continue the topic tomorrow will be talking on how to get a skill in tech and also how to run away or how to keep ourselves away from the atrocity tech has provided for us. So let's go through this LinkedIn something. So can everybody see my screen? Hello, Asalamalaykum. Can everybody see my screen?
Walaikum salam. I can't see it from my end.
Okay, I'm coming.
No.
Asalamalaykum, sir. We're expecting you. Hello, Asalamalaykum. We're expecting you, sir. Okay. So can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So now this is my LinkedIn page. Um, creating a LinkedIn page and you want to create an attractive page for job recruiters. First thing you have to know, LinkedIn is not like Facebook. LinkedIn is not Twitter. LinkedIn is not TikTok. It's not all these peripheral page. Oh, customer phone. It's not page that you can use to post comedy and all those stuff. LinkedIn is a professional page. It was brought by Microsoft in 2016. It was actually launched in Hmm? No. It was actually launched in 2003. Let me check. So it was actually launched in 2003, but it started coming. Microsoft brought it back in 2016. So we have 346 female and 463 male using LinkedIn from US, India, Brazil, and other form. LinkedIn offers 25 languages, the Arabic, and so on. So to have a very attractive LinkedIn page, you must first have a name. Your name must stand out so that if anybody is searching for your name, they can only see your name. So if you submit your CV and someone wants to come to LinkedIn to check out that, okay, is this person on LinkedIn, you should be able to know that if they type the name on your CV, is coming out. It's not on Facebook that if you write, if your name is Sumayyah, you can use Sumi this, Sumi that. Here on LinkedIn, you must write your official name. I'm Sumayyah Adelopo by name, and Sumayyah Adelopo is my name on LinkedIn. Your tagline and your headline, that's what you do. I'm a data analyst, I'm a graphic designer, I'm also a student. And on my LinkedIn page, you can see it there that it's having the data analyst tag, the graphic design tag, and also the student tag. So going down, we want to have a good biography. We want to tell people what you do and how you do it. I'm Sumaya, and according to my biography, I'm a data analyst that is passionate about dashboard, data modeling, and performance related insights. And that's what I do. I love creating dashboard, reports, creating insight on the data set. So what you are going to write, take for example, I'm a web developer. You can say I'm a web developer passionate about creating web designs that are interesting and attractive to people. So we have our second speaker on board, Inshallah Bikrotula. We continue from where we stop after she finish. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, sir.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So our second lecturer is by name Ustaz Abdulgani Adebisi. Is the Mudir of Madrasatul Mumtia. So
Mumtia. Mumtia.
Mumtia, Mumtia. He's also a graduate from the University of Lagos. He was once an Amir MSSN,
I'm
University
not
of
Amir,
Lagos.
I'm Naiful Amir.
Okay,
Mumtia.
Noibu Amir. Sorry, sir. Jazakallah
Two
khairan.
times Naiful Amir. Inshallah.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Bismillah.
Okay. Now, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Walaikum
Wa alaikum
salam
salam
wa
wa
rahmatullahi wa
rahmatullahi wa
barakatuh.
barakatuh.
Now, the topic that is given to me for today is a very, very contemporary topic. So, in the light of that, I would like to really appreciate the convener, that is our Sister Sumayyah Adelopo. Kí Ọlọ́run kó jẹ́ kí oore kó pọ̀ nínú ayé yín. Also, everybody that contributed to this event, we pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah in our endeavors. I mean, please, I hope you can all hear me clearly.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. We
Yes,
can
sir.
hear you.
Now, inshallah, so the topic, going straight to the topic, because there's no time, the topic given to me is embracing change, shaping a positive future for a Muslim youth and careers in digital world. So, shaping a positive future for a Muslim youth and careers in digital world. So, my talk on it, inshallah, will not be so hefty or this thing, but I have one or two points I will try to make on it. Now, firstly, is that the digital world. Because everyone of us here we are educated, so Alhamdulillah, I'm very, very hopeful that we know the word we talk about when we say the digital world. So that is one. Secondly, is that when we are talking about making a change in there, that means there's something we have seen why we are calling for a change. Because as it's been said that we don't change a winning team. When we have a winning team, we don't change it. So that means there are some things that we have felt that, oh, this is not supposed to be. We want something better. So that is that. Another thing we must note from our topic is that what is they said for a Muslim youth, Muslim youth, which means what? Our youth. Because if you look at the digital world, those who dominate it mostly, they are the youth. So the Muslim youth, who are the youth? They are basically those between that have left the age of what majorly teenage age. They are now between that, that's like let's say from age 19, 18 to age 39. When you get to 40, the reality of life will started coming in. So those are those we are talking about. Now, what are those key points that we should now take note of, we should understand? Number one is that the digital world is a world that is fast evolving, and there are a lot of things going on there, a lot of things. So there are some things that we, the Muslim youth, we need to take into when we are talking about it. Especially, let me use the word that is being used in our local plan, like the tech word, which is a general word we use, and we see that a lot of our Muslim brothers, they are in it so much. So number one is a Muslim youth that we want to say, oh, you are going to the tech world. You should have what we call an that. Hello, somebody said something.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
I think there's an echo. So is there anybody here that connected to this thing? From Mimot Ajoke.
Can we all mute our mic? Can we please all mute our mic? Someone with the name Nat, please, could you please mute your mic?
I think the admin can fix the person.
Okay, I think it's just apps.
It's admin, you can mute the person.
Hello, sir. We are muted now. You can go ahead.
Hello?
Huh?
Hello, we are muted now. You can go ahead.
Huh?
Their mic is all muted now. You can go on, sir.
Now, Bismillah. So you said the first is what? Al Aqidah to Salima. Because the digital world is a very big word and there are a lot of things there. In fact, we see that one of those things we observe is a lot of people who use the internet heavily. One of the challenges they bring back, they are so, and some of them we want to choose, they want to choose it as a career, but at later time we see them that they are becoming even burden for Islam. Don't forget we are talking about the Muslim youth. That's why we need to mention this. So somebody who wants to go into the digital world should have aqidah to Salimo. That means the right creed of Islam. So that you meet a lot of people there, they will tell you a lot of things. They can say religion is a scam, as we see on the internet today, and some other things that are not this thing. So you see that some people in that digital world, they swallow it. So when you come back, people that you interact before when you were young together, they're saying different nonsense, saying different things. Or you see them shouting many times or saying Islam is ash, Islam is this, Islam is that. I don't know if you have observed it in some of our young ones. These things are not so much like that. unlike what we see today. So it's one of those things we should take note. Secondly is that somebody who is going to that digital world should be knowledgeable. It requires knowledge. It requires knowledge. So knowledge in two ways. The first one is the any endeavor we want to take in the digital world. It is very key. That's why Umar Radiallahu anhu, they said Umar will go into the market. We'll be asking people that somebody that is very, very stern. So we go with a whip. So if anybody could not say anything, it's going to wipe them. So it's going to wipe them. Meanwhile, so it's good that a Muslim, anything you do, you should know the Islamic, because the Prophet said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said, a time will come that you are going to see people, Muslim will be earning wealth, but they will not even care about the wealth they are earning. Is it from halal sources or haram sources? So this is very, very key. I think we are already in that time with our current happening. Another knowledge you should have is what? The knowledge asking from those who have been there. A Muslim wants to go into the digital world. He wants to make changes. Want to give a positive change for it. Those that have been there, both non-Muslim and Muslim, ensure you also learn from them. You don't just take things slow GG. All of a sudden, you said the person has been this. You learn from those that have been there. And one of the mistakes our youth do make, those you met on the field, you don't know anything, you don't ask them anything, you just want to start. Get information from people, even apart from even digital world, anything you want to do, learn from those that, okay, these are the, you should not start from there. It makes work more easier. And when I've read about this phenomenon, I think it has been giving me a lot of help. Whenever I want to do anything, even if it's any business, even if any this thing, I will meet with people who have been doing such thing. What is this and those of that? If you don't do that, at the end of the day, it will really affect you a lot. And you see, one of the time we have now is this time of haste. People don't want to learn; they just want to earn. They don't want to take time. They don't want to be patient again. So it's a very key aspect that we should take note of. So that is that. Another is that we should, what is now the intention of going? Our intention should be very high. Going into the digital world, in the Sharia ruling, if you just go down, you are earning how you should earn. You have not committed any sin. You have not done any wrong. And also is that what? You may not earn reward because you just go there normally. But when you have the intention that, this digital world want to use it to serve our Lord Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, then we are going to what? We are going to shape a lot of things and correct a lot of things. Now, there are now some things we should take note of. Now, we have talked about what we want to go and do there, knowing about it and learning about it. This will help us. Look at what the Prophet told us, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The Prophet, when he was talking to some of these, I want to quote this hadith because it's going to help. He saw the Prophet observed that there are some of the Sahaba, they do sit on the streets. I just want to make an analogy. They do sit on the street to learn, like sitting there, and so sitting on the street to look at what goes on there. They just sit. The Prophet now told them that Iyakum walijulusa fi turukot, beware of sitting on the roadside. He not say, call ya Rasulullah, Maulana buddu min majalisina natahaddasu fiha. We don't have other alternative except to sit there and we discuss. The Prophet then said, Faiza abaitum tebati wa gbonkwe efe ma joko síbẹ̀ ni illa li moja pe ma joko fa'atu tariqo haqqo. You should give that tariq is right. He said, they call you one more akko. He said, oh Prophet, what is right? Prophet said, God do libasor, should do lower your gaze, wakaful other, and you should restrain from harming people. Warad to salam, you should always what? You should always be responding to greetings. While amru bil ma'ruf wa nahyu anil munkar. You should always what enjoying good and forbid evil. You will see that if you take those things the prophet mentioned there that he advised on the streets, you can take those five things and they will also go like that. Those five advice we will give them. You will see that they exactly fit into the digital world too. And that was what lowering the gaze. If you don't lower your gaze, anything you see there, you just take it. Say, "Ah, she on the internet." You see a woman picture that is not well dressed. I say, "Ah, I'm just doing video." Muslim youth, you Muslim youth into what you are saying. So he said, so that means you as a Muslim youth, while you are going there, it is one of the definition is that. So wakaful other, you should restrain since the skills you learn there is a skill that you want to is not something you are going to cause used to cause. But government say you should restrain from harming people. So you know that there are some things we learn in digital world. At the end of the day, is to harm others. Like now, look at AI now and some artificial intelligence. Somebody who is they can take your this thing, your picture, and it will move. There's a way they will design it and do everything. People will see as if that person is a real person, and they will use it for other things. You see, I think some of us we are aware. There's somebody that he did it for. The person said he's verge on committing suicide. They took her picture. They were not using it for sexual activities. The person saw it exactly the way she moves, exactly the way she do everything. Look at that. Is it not this verse? So a Muslim cannot do such. Say waradu salam, you greet people there, you respond to it. Say wa amru bil ma'ruf wa nahyu anil munkar. And that's what define a Muslim from going when you are going there. It's not to join the bandwagon. You know, it's a very big place. It's a very wide field. So all everything you are putting in mind is what you want to go there to enjoy good and forbid evil. Now, the next thing is now that this is where we want to move to. Setting goals for Islam. Now, how do we now? How can we make a career for the Muslim youth there, and we will not end haram, and we still maintain those Islamic words, Islamic ruling, and the Islamic identity will not suffer. He said the first one is what we should always think. Let's look at Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam. One is something like you will see something. He was telling his when they told him that there's a king Balikis, she's a woman and she has a throne. So when what's the name of that the bird that came? He said, I've came from Sabain bin Naba in Azim. I've given you. I want to give you news that is so great. Now describing the words the throne of Balikis. So because Sulaiman have lofty heights, Sulaiman now said, okay, she has a throne, no problem. Okay, one of you among my messenger who will now bring the throne for me in a very fast manner. Somebody stood up, said, I will bring it for you before what? Before you stand up from your seat. Another person stood up, I will bring it for you before you even blink your eye. And before Sulaiman could blink the eye, what do we say to that? It's just like you can equate it to our present internet age. How fast is it to do something? Meaning that we too, if you want to be Muslim, you can't go to anywhere. The career path we want to create, it will always also be from ourselves. We need creativity and thinking out of the box. Sulaiman think out of the box. That's how he brought that idea to them. He threw the idea to them and they achieved it. So that means every one of us too, we must be thinking out of the box without thinking haram. There are some things people do say, is Islam, it's because you are religious, that's what is limiting you. It's wrong. Believing that way that's why we started with Aqidah to Salim. If you have good Aqidah, I know that you never say that. That Islam that is limiting you, that's why we are not progressing. It's wrong. You know why we are saying that? If you are going and check the history of this science and technology, you see that the Muslims are the foremost. Do you know the first robot that was built by a Muslim? We call them the Musa brothers. Are we aware? It was built by a Muslim. They built it for a king. There's a lecture I've done on using pictures in Islam. When I did that lecture, I pointed to that fact. There was a king that he said it's stressful for him to be moving all around. Can those Who can the Muslim scientists that they couldn't give him a this thing? They now built a this thing from there was something like a bread structure. Oh man, it will bring water for the king to do ablution. After the ablution, the bread, that iron robot will take the water away again. So the Muslim are foremost. Even go and read about the Abbasid Empire. Read from any source. I don't even care any source. Can be from Islamic sources. Can even be from the Western sources. They all agreed that the Muslims were the foremost in what in science because during the Abbasid Empire, nobody have a choice again except if you want to know science and technology. The only choice is for you to what to come to the Muslim land. You have no choice. You have to come to Spain. You have no choice. You need to go to Baghdad. If you have no choice, you need to go to Cordoba. You have no choice. You need to go to Egypt. The first university was also from there because they were from. So the fact that we should say, oh, is because we are religious. That's why we are not progressing in science and technology. It's also a limitation on his own. The person are growing such at the end of the day when they get to this digital world or something, you see them in no plans atheist or something, or they just have one ridiculous belief, or they just becomes so naughtily liberal and going against Islam. Do you understand? But the thinking about the boss you are saying is that the same way prophets like one thing about and give ideas to this thing, which especially we that we are young now, you should have it in mind that what are things that we can use to lead the world, and by using it we use it to promote Islam. We are going to use it to promote it. What we see now is that when some Muslims get to the peak of their career, they started watering down their Islam. If they have big hijab, they started reducing it. If they have niqab, they remove it. If they are Muslim that they do pray a lot, they started watering it down. Imam is said because we want to reckon with it, we want to meet the standard of the world. What we are saying now is we want to set the standard, and it's possible. The first is our what? Positivity, our optimism in our mind that this thing is possible as a Muslim, and it's very possible. There's nothing special about it. So this is very, very key. Secondly, is that which is also very, very key is what when we are doing this, if we are creative, by creative we create jobs. When you are creative, you create jobs. That's just the truth. And that's why when you see that any country is in crisis, is that those who are creative, those who are entrepreneurs, they are always the solution. They are always the what? They are always with the solution to those problems. That's why there's no nation that will play with them. They always like you see that observe Dangote now. Look at Dangote. You see that the good government always relate with him because they can destroy the economy. They are very powerful people. They are always trying to be careful that they don't want to face the government headlong. So all the government that comes in, they play along with them, and the government will play along them because they know that they have a lot of assets. Fighting them does not make sense. They too fighting the government too does not make sense. Why? Because they are job creators. So and those who are job creators, that are those that are what they can think. What people are not seeing, they can bring it out. So we must have this, and so that is one. Second is that when you think about the boss, because we are mentioning issue of Muslims, there are some things that you will cop. You will not even know you are copying it. And what is that thing? And it is this myth, or what will I say? There's this or what will I say? This false assumption. The false assumption is that if you want to grow in science and technology, that you are going to, there are some things that you need to part way with. You know that if you are very, very, let's look at our art. The way our art is created and we humans are created is anything that is marvel, that we marvel about, that we see as extraordinary. We naturally want to worship that thing. Why do some people say, okay, their Lord is science and technology, that they will want to live religion? Because they see that creativity are coming from them. A lot of creativity are coming from them. But what many don't know, or let me say, why did they follow the Western world, hook, line, and sinker, blindly? Even those bad things they are bringing to us, like what's it called, gay, homosexualism, LGBTQ, and everything, they swallow it all together. Nudity, they swallow everything. They believe is a culture that we should adopt everything, anything they bring. Why are the people accepting all their views? Why is their view used as a standard? It's just because of their creativity. There's nothing about them. And you should know that a civilization like the Western civilization now, or let me say the Western liberal civilization, that the civilization we are seeing now is something of turn. Later on, another civilization will come, it will wipe them away. I pray that it should be Islam. That Islam will be the same civilization that will turn back. Because if you look at how the world has been, it has always been like that. So the dominating civilization of that time, that is what just people will use as standard. The Muslim have once enjoyed such before during the Abbasid Empire. So what you should be thinking in mind now is that that same thing, want to return it back. By returning it back, by us being creative, by showing the world where they should go to, by making a solution, by giving a solution to this Western this thing that they are promoting some other evil things, it will make us to what? It will make us religion. It will also make up to protect the world from the present immorality situation we have today. That is just the truth. So we will just continue to lament and complain that look at what this one is doing. This one says identifying himself as a dog. This one is removing BP Ninja, this thing, everything. You just will continue to compare. Why are people in nudity? Why is this one becoming atheist? Why you see that everything is just from them because they are the one that look at. Let me give an instance. Chat GPT, this chat GPT. That you know that here this thing now machine. Do you know that if you say some things about LGBTQ now, that what is Islamic ruling on is, it will say that no, Islam promotes love. That LGBTQ, Islam is not against it. That's the way it's going to present it to you. Why? Because those that are championing it, they are the Western liberals, and anything they bring out, they will use it to promote what they want. You get, they will use it to promote their ideology, and that's what it will happen to anybody. You expect me now, I have something now that I can use to rule the world. I'll not now promote Islam, but I'm sure that I will use it to promote my deen now. And that is what should be now in the mind of every one of us. But first thing, have it in mind that the first is your positive mind. You must be optimistic and be hopeful that I'm going to do something, and it will be a turning point for the world. The same way some people ẹnìkan ní Twitter, ẹnìkan nílé, ẹnìkan nílé. We must have something that we want to use and we will create job with it. Ibi tí ò sí job, a fẹ́ create job. There is no magic anywhere. Àwa náà mama ro. That is one. Second is that what? Creating a sphere for the Muslims. Creating a sphere. Look at what I said. Creating a sphere for the Muslims. Which that's why all the Muslims that maybe we are in tech world, the Muslim youth, you are in what? Tech world, or let's say generally, as the topic is given to me, digital world. We should have a coalition. We should have a what? We should have a what? A coalition is very key. You guys that are doing tech, you must always identify yourself. You must be reckoning with one another. You know that just be this thing. You reckoning with one another. And another thing with what? You reckon with one another, and apart from reckoning with one another, you connect each other, like connecting. So when you are connecting, ideas will come. You do things together. But when you do that, you're just on your own. You are doing this, and you guys don't have coalition. And you see the Western world, what they don't play with is what? Coalition. All the Western countries have the same, but they have different things they are using to front their ideologies. This LGBT community, they have this thing. Despite them being they are one of the most powerful. Why? Because their unity is very strong. Look at this thing. NATO, they are the one controlling this. Mention this IMF, they are the one in it. Even sports that you are watching, FIFA, they are the one. That's why they are using easily now to promote LGBTQ. All the sports organizations, they are the one there. Media, all their media houses, they have coalitions too. You have coalitions. Even you too in tech too. You in digital world. You must always have in mind that be Muslim, you should have this thing too to front your ideology. Even something like this, so it will be coming more and more, and that will make you to see. Okay, are we in? What are these things? How do we check this? Like for instance, now Elon Musk wants to launch a wife and husband. You can buy a wife now that you can be sleeping. Say the wife. Everything that you need, your feelings. If you are sad, the wife will get sad with you. If you are happy, it will be happy with you. It just when you buy it $500 from Elon Musk, it's just need solar to charge it. Solar to charge it for 2 hours, and you can sleep with it. You can do everything. Look at the madness. We will just lament. But they are doing this, and it because they have been trying to destroy marriage. And marriage is one of those things Islam celebrates because it's pure madness. If we don't procreate and we don't increase, how did the population of the world continue? Japan is facing this now because they accept the Western liberal values. Today they are seriously underpopulated. They have problem a lot with their youth. This thing are aging. They will end up making people to migrate. They migrate. Immigrants will later take up their countries. Many of them, like Japan, South Korea, and other like that. So how do we want to protect our values? And what is giving all these people strength is that what? When anybody that support their this thing, they make them as their ally. So they unite. And look at what Allah said. There's nowhere in the Quran Allah will tell us. So look at when Allah want to present something like this. There's nowhere in the Quran. If Allah want to talk about the kuffar, Allah always condemn their actions. Allah will condemn their actions. But there's one action Allah now said that we should emulate them. Imagine, they are kuffar. But Allah said we should emulate them in one thing. What's that? Allah said in Surah Al-Anfal, verse 73, Allah said, وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ إِلَّا تَفْعَلُوهُ تَكُنْ فِتْنَةٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَفَسَادٌ كَبِيرٌ. Those who are unbelievers, بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ, they are brothers of one another. They are awliya, they are allies of one another. They form ally together. And that's the way of the kuffar. Any sector, they form ally. But we Muslims like to separate and be lonely. You can't achieve anything. Being lonely, you can't achieve anything. So from the Allah said, then you know about it. If you too, you don't emulate something like that, you don't do the same, you are not uniting. Take on fitna to feel expect fitna. And it's not what you are saying now. Look at, especially you that you are teenagers now. To be an upright Muslim has become a challenge. It's one of those we are seeing. That's why you see that you teenagers, the gap between you and the world and the older generation, like your dad and your other people, you see that the gap is so much in the way you see things, the way when they point to be like, when they say this thing is wrong in Islam, be like, what is wrong? You know why? Because of what you consume too much. Look at now. A lot of you may not even know that indirectly you consume a lot of pornography, except you are not using your phone. The pornography you consume is so much, except you are not using your phone. So somebody who is consuming pornography, is the person want to preach to now that saying that lower your kids? Do you understand? So there are ways all this evil that they are bringing down to us can become is when we are together. And when we are going together, we create more of these things. There will be more jobs for us. There will be more jobs. We create more jobs. Another is that what? When we are now, when another this thing we must be setting is how to eradicate poverty. Because digital world is one of those things that, alhamdulillah, you can get sudden wealth and it's not through haram means. So we must be thinking of something to with it. And what? How do we want to use it to eradicate? There are some peculiar problems the Muslims are facing. Okay, we want to use it to what? To this. That means we'll be channeling to other sectors too. We'll be channeling to other sectors too and trying to what? To see what we can do with it. Oh, I think the Muslim will need this. We need to, like, general sector, like how the Prophet said that agriculture is 1/10 of the wealth of the world. Another is 1/8 of the wealth. Can we go into it? Okay, education. Even if we want to move into tech world or we want to move into the digital world, we need education. Let's start it. Grassroots, this thing, mobilization. Instead of people doing Yahoo, doing this thing, the tech world can guarantee you. Because when you do Yahoo, Yahoo is not guaranteed. You can't do Yahoo for life. And you cannot be eating everything. You can't take money. That's the truth. That's why I pity a female that wants to marry a Yahoo guy. You are marrying somebody that is technically without a job. That's just the truth. Because he does not have an handiwork. That's just the truth. And they are also very, very much there. So it's even risky. It itself is risky. How many of them are? I know many of them that they are even, in fact, they are in serious problem. Number one is they arrive them on the street. People believe that they are well and they have money. So when area boys see them, they want to collect from them. Another is that they are not buoyant all the time. And they cannot even manage it because the wealth they have is they got it suddenly. So it will not last long. Because many of them, 99% of them they don't manage it. Look at Hush Puppy, how rich he is now. Look at his situation today. Those that are relying on him, how would they fed themselves? So it's a problem on his own. So now, how do you want to curb it? Is by what? Moving back into now the real world. You now leave the digital world. If you want more people to come into this digital world and shape them, you now move to the real world. Continue to what? Enlightenment. Like something we have done today now. It's very, very commendable. Enlightenment. This is this. Leave your, you can come to digital world and hang wealth. Let people realize that a well a path. When they see paths, they will leave. When they see something better, they will leave what they are doing before. Do you get now? So when that career path is now there, we now we Islamize it. The same way we see this thing today is Islamized. We have bank, we have Islamic bank Islamized. We have bonds, we have different type of bonds. We have Islamic bonds today now. So we want to have Islamic digital world too. Is should be our plan. So enlightening them. There are many dropouts, even in this barriga, drop out of school from primary or secondary school. Afe move with other one. We want to put them to the Christians are doing those things. Many of you don't even know. That many Unilag students, their churches are embracing it. We too Muslim must we start that. So that's why their enlightenment must be very, very heavy. And that's the 4 point I want to take out. It must be very heavy. You continue. You move it. Many people press their phone. They don't even know their phone is a wealth. How can they use it to earn? And it should not be haram. So that is what I can say with all the points I'm saying. So in summary, is first is we should have a good akida because it's like they throw somebody into the sea. You know how to that. So it's the akida that will guide you. If you have good akida. Second is what? Knowledge. It's about Islamic ruling of where you are going to. Knowledge from people who have been there, your fellow Muslim brother that are trustworthy, your sisters. Oh, what's this thing going on? So it will really help you. The third is what? The intention of going. The fourth is that those school will now say we should set. Do we understand? So those are the my these are what I can say in I can say briefly. We pray Allah accept from us as an act of ibadah. So manage the lecture for me that way and forgive what you expect me to say that I've not been able to say. Allah also forgive me for any misquotation I've made. Subhanakallah wa bihamdik. نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khairan. We really appreciate your presence and we really enjoyed the lecture. Let us all say Jazakumullah khairan to our speaker.
Jazakumullahu khairan.
Jazakumullah khairan.
Jazakumullah khairan khairan. Jazakumullah khairan khairan.
So, inshallah, because of time, questions regarding this topic is being thrown to you on our group chat, inshallah. So, sir, you can respond to the question on our group chat to VN or message because everybody wants to learn
Yeah.
from the
Where is the
questions.
group chat?
I already
Where is the
added
group
you
chat?
to it. You see it on your WhatsApp, sir. So if you have any question now,
I say, is there any question being asked? I want to make it. Okay, my suggestion is that maybe consequent this thing so that like there are some people that they want to get the recording of all so much. So this thing, what platform are we using to communicate now? This
Google Meet.
Google
I
Meet.
think Google Meet. Um,
Okay, can
I
you really
think
make a recording? And it's also
streamed is being live streamed currently. The link will be shared on the
okay
group.
on YouTube, Abby.
Yes, the link will
Oh,
be
that's that's
Exactly.
so the link will be
okay.
shared
That's
on the
okay.
group for anybody that wants to rewatch, and the recorded video too will be sent on the group. Be Iznillah today or
Oh,
tomorrow
all right.
after the program.
Barakallah.
I mean, so thank you very much for joining me
All right.
today.
That
And this is just day one. And day two, we are going to be having two speakers too, in person of Ajia Fatima Jadi and to be very attractive to job recruiters. So if you still want us to continue with it, I want you to unmute your mic and say yes. If you don't want us to continue with it, I want you to unmute your mic and say no. So I'm waiting for your response.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we have gotten 2 years. I still need close to three more. 3 more years, then we can continue.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Jazakumullah khairan. So now I'm going to be showing my screen and I'm going to continue from where I stopped. I'm not going to take much of our time and it's going to be very, very fast because I can do a recap tomorrow, but because of time, we just have 25 more minutes. So can you all see my screen? Can you all see
Yes,
my
yes.
screen?
Yes,
Yes,
yes, we
we
can.
can. Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, now if you can see my screen, you see my LinkedIn page is trying to load. So as I said earlier, LinkedIn is a platform. It's a professional platform. It's not like Facebook, it's not like Instagram, it's not like Twitter. It's a professional platform. You can say Twitter too is also a professional platform, but unlike LinkedIn, social media platform is for professionals. If you can see my page, I think you can read what's on the PowerPoint presentation. Can you see my page?
Yes.
Okay. So now we are talking about building a beautiful and attractive LinkedIn page or LinkedIn profile. So you have to have your name, your headline, your tagline, your display picture, your headline picture, and your bio. So let's take that first. Looking at my profile, looking at my profile, you can see my picture. On LinkedIn, we don't use picture like we do on Facebook. We don't use picture when we are sleeping on the bed. We don't use picture when we are lying down on the floor. We don't use picture of food. We don't use picture of anything. We use a professional picture so that people can know us. And some people really don't prefer hiring people they don't know. Seeing the picture create like a better view. Even if the person has not seen it, basically can usually use your picture to navigate who you are. The background picture can be picture of what you do. I'm a data analyst and according to my about picture you can see that my background picture you can see that I have a dashboard that I actually created. You can put it can be your best of dashboard. This is not my best dashboard but I love the color and everything about it and that's why it's on my dashboard. So for your name, my name is Sumayyah Adelopo and for my LinkedIn page, you can see my name is Sumayyah Adelopo. So on your LinkedIn page, you are not to use names you use on Facebook like it's me Queen Kinikon, it's me Kinikon. No, you have to use your official name in such a way that if they are issuing a certificate for you, that's what will be on it. And I'm sure that nobody was issued a certificate with it's me Kinikon, it's me Kinikon. So now your headline or your tagline. Your headline and your tagline is what you do. I'm a data analyst, I'm a graphic designer, I'm also a student. For anybody that is a web developer, for web developer, if you see web developer page, they do write web developer, they write web like software they use. Someone that has learned Python, someone that has learned what they call it, Python, JavaScript, HTML. They'll write everything in their headline and tagline in such a way that if you search for HTML on search, it's going to bring it out. If you search for JavaScript is going to bring their name out, or if you start for developer, their name is going to come out. This tagline is just like a search engine in such a way that if anything is typed on the search box and your tagline happen to have something like that, your name is going to appear on it. This tagline is to like make your name appear on any job recruiter search list that okay yes I want to find someone, a data analyst, a web developer, a graphic developer. That's what a tagline do. Majorly your bio is what you know about yourself, what you love doing and what you like. I'm Sumaya, I'm a data analyst and as a data analyst I'm passionate about dashboard report and data insights. And if you can see for my bio, that's what is on my bio. So if you're a web developer and you are passionate about building a Islamic website where you can learn everything and anything about Islam, you can always write, I'm passionate and I'm willing to build a website that talks about everything about Islam. If you are willing to help or to be a co-founder, you can contact me on this and this, or tell people to check out your data, your project and everything. LinkedIn is also a platform at which you proclaim or you show your skills, what you have learned. Um is it design? Do you write poems? Do you design? Do you do everything? You can always upload it on Medium, GitHub, and every other thing. Then you can share your link on LinkedIn. So that's that about the first thing. Once you have your name, your headline, your professional picture, your background picture, and your bio ready, your name will always appear on search. What's left now is for them to know what certification do you have, what certification do you have, what experience have you gained. But once your name, your tagline, your picture, your everything is ready, you can, even if they are not wanting an experienced person, they can always hire you because you are not experienced but you are in that field. You want to be an intern or anything, you are not experienced but you can be in that field. So that's what will be taken for now. For everybody that has a LinkedIn page, I want you to go back to your LinkedIn page to try to like reform it, change, write your full name, write your tagline, your headline, and also try to like add a bio, a professional picture, and what you love, what you do the most on your background picture. Then send a connection link to me. If you send it to me, I'm going to add you up. And if there's any correction I want you to make, or I feel you should make, it will that will be better for your page. I'm going to tell you. Hope we all understand what I'm saying. Hello? Hope we all got what I'm saying.
Yes, we understand.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, wait.
Hello, yes. Go ahead.
So on LinkedIn, I'm
What's
Sumaya
money? I won't
Omoteniola
turn it.
Adelopo. So if you create your LinkedIn profile, you can send a LinkedIn connection to me, and I'm willing to add you up and let's get to know ourselves more and build. But Abiwasi, are you saying something?
No, 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 no.
So let's get to know ourselves more.
There's a mistake.
Okay, the name again. My name is Sumayyah Adelopo Omoteniola on LinkedIn. Can check out my page, and you can also check out Boda Abdulrasheed Adeoye's page. You can check out Boda Abdulrasheed Adeoye's page. You can also check out Boda Saad Salami's page. You can also check out Boda Oni Muhammad's page. And you can also check out Sumayyah Adewites page. So you can check everything and try to like build your profile, and let's link up, and let them know that okay, we should type those names because of their spelling. Okay, let me type it for you. So please, let's do that. No opportunity to waste. And we are coming to our end of today's program. Please. Hmm? Okay, changes. Okay, we have come to an end of. I'll talk to the group. We have come to an end of today's program. I remain Smile Lopo. See you tomorrow. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.